Raynday could never make it to Predator. I've honestly been thinking that some of you might say this when you see the title of the series or see what I'm trying to do, and I've honestly thought it about myself. But that means that there are other people out there who want to get to Predator, who want to grind, and they don't have the motivation, or they think people don't believe that they can do it, or maybe their skill just isn't there yet and they don't know how far they can grow. So this series is really just about cataloging that. I don't know if I'll get to Predator, but I do know that I'll try my best. I do know that I want to show you guys my footage from Ranked, and I think this is a great way to showcase every single game, add some fun, add some tips, and also put out a good video for you all to enjoy watching that I can do multiple times throughout this Ranked season. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Please leave a like if you do, comment down below, and let's get into the video. Game 1. Silver's pretty notorious for not having to do anything. If you never played Apex Legends before, play in Silver, or at least Bronze, and just loot. If you literally just loot in Apex Legends in either of those levels of ranked play, you will basically gain RP, because Silver only takes a -12 from you, and everyone will probably be dead by the time you actually start fighting after looting, so that you'll be in a top 10 position. I mean, it's like the easiest RP you could ever have. You could play aggressive and people don't really care, but that also can sometimes bite you in the butt as well. This is very different from high-level Predator lobbies, and so you have to be careful from people pushing you with really reckless abandon. No need to actually worry about their own RP. So the first game, I'm trying to get my wingman shots warmed up, an R99. These are really the weapons that I think you should be playing in high-level ranked. However, it will take a second, especially if you're not great at the wingman, to either warm up or learn those weapons and just get used to them for your day of ranked grinding. So that's what I suggest doing in a couple of your warm-up games. Take it a little easy. My aim was a bit off, and unfortunately I ended up pushing a Gibraltar in the wrong spot, and we ended up going down, not really gaining too much RP, but we made it to the final 7. Game 2. Game 2 was alright. We actually landed at the Dome, which, if you're familiar with the Apex Legends map, is a pretty obscure area to land. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just not a very popular kind of high density area where a lot of people are landing. So if you're there, or actually around Lava City, which I really enjoy landing at, you usually aren't contested by more than one team. I ended up dropping down, got a quick 3K, so I was feeling pretty good off the bat, as this game started off a lot hotter than before. However, I had the first experience of what you all will be having many times: bad teammates who quit too early in ranked. Fortunately, this gives you lost forgiveness, and we did end up progressing into the top 10 of this game, and unfortunately dying because we only had 2 players. It was a decent effort, but having that third player leave really hurt us in these final team battles. Game 3. Game 3 was pretty cool. We dropped into the new capital city. It was a hot landing. I got an early kill and then ran into a caustic that was glitching like he was in the Matrix. Then Revenant threw his tactical ability up my butt and deleted me, so we had to turn around and start Game 4. Game 4. Now, Game 4 is just the right amount of time to get discouraged about what's happening in ranked, but not be ready to quit just yet. And this was the perfect game to make somebody want to throw their computer out of a window. We landed and got an early kill near Train Yard, and then ran into some very familiar names if you've seen some other videos on my channel. Yeah, I got killed by cheaters. Yeah, and I watched them the entire game, found out they were cheating, turned it into a video talking about how I was looking for this Loba tease, and yada yada. Overall though, it was a decent time, and I think that if you do find cheaters, you sometimes have to understand that they are climbing ranked. It's just a part of life. But one thing you can do is, if you get killed in a suspicious way, just make sure to wait. Maybe watch a little bit. I'll go get a cup of coffee, refresh my tea, put some more hot water in there, and just wait and see if there's anything suspicious. That way we can try to clean out these cheaters in the ranked pool so they don't come back and think they can just do it consequence-free. Game 5. Now, after dying to cheaters, I'm a little frustrated, so I decided to land hot and just get back into the fray, and things are looking okay, but our team gets into a pretty big skirmish. I have a couple decent wingman shots, I got an R301 working, but I'm running out of ammo, running out of armor, and the trade almost goes my way. Big lesson though for this is to learn the weapons that you need to use. I had started getting into the Havoc, I had started getting away from practicing that wingman R99, and it did hurt me a little bit in some of these situations. It's best to stay consistent. That's what I found in my own play. Game 6. Now, Game 6, you might imagine that a guy like me could start getting a little bit worried. I've played 6 games, over an hour involved in ranked, and I still haven't gotten a win or really a decent game, and I'm recording all of this for content. Yikes. I'm starting to feel the pressure, and and we end up dropping train, this time with no cheaters and not a lot of contest. However, this game goes into a bit of a loot fest and takes us a while until we end up fighting in Capital City. This encounter with a Gibraltar and a lifeline is a bit scary, and unfortunately, although it goes our way in the beginning, we just don't have the wherewithal to turn it around, and we end up dying to the very same team in a 3-team skirmish that downed me originally. One thing to note from this one though, however, is that this Gibraltar is a beast, and trying to go head-to-head in a 1v1 in ranked or in any element of Apex Legends is a no-no. Try to make sure you can at least clip some of his shield down or some of his health before you try to 1v1, especially when you're just staring each other down like an old cowboy western. One of the big lessons of ranked, you'll learn that sooner than later. Game 7 doesn't exist. That's right, I forgot to record, but I got 108 RP and I had a very good game with a lot of kills. Luckily, that kept me going enough to record more games so that this video didn't end right now. Hey Raynday, I got an idea. Why don't you have your best game of the day and then just not record that one and then keep recording bad games? Love it, man. Sounds good. Gosh, YouTube is easy. Game 8. I'm feeling so good after that Game 7 win that no one will ever know about. I feel like I should drop Sorting Factory again. Yeah, no, bad decision. Very hard to handle a thing like Sorting Factory or Capital City unless your teammates have mics and of course you guys are coordinated. If you're playing with a buddy, totally different, but I am solo queuing every single game here, and that's why you're seeing these tough like wiggle room 3-team fights. Hard for us to come out on top. We just don't have the coordination, and sometimes you just got to get lucky. In this situation, I decide to thirst whoever I'm fighting, and ultimately that does give me a gain in RP. It's one of the best ways to just say, hey, I'm getting out of here. I'm already out. Let me go out with a bang and at least make it worth my time. That was not a sexual innuendo, okay? Stop it, guys. Why did you even bring that up? You all are disgusting. Game 9. We spend some time at Mirage Voyage, and yes, this is a hot landing. In ranked, I wouldn't necessarily suggest landing here unless you are prepared for the chaos. One team is going to immediately die pretty much, and if you are that team, you will be very upset. Remember, I just had that great Game 7 that nobody saw. Of course, how could you forget? And then Game 8, I got a little frustrated because I thirsted 2 players, and my team unfortunately couldn't make it out of Sorting Factory again. So I was determined to make things happen here at the Voyage, and I ended up getting a lot of kills. Actually, the entire game, for the most part, ended up being on the Mirage Voyage, and I had about 4 kills heading into the top 11. So this was a game that definitely started fast, and I was thinking, okay, this could be our glorious Game 7, the one we all remember and will never forget. So I run into another team as we're rotating, and things get a little feisty. We're able to knock one, and it comes down to a glorious 1v1 for all the marbles, and guess what your boy did? Yeah, I choked. What? We all choke. Come on, that happens. And honestly, the big lesson from this is that you do sometimes choke in ranked. It's not that easy to always be getting every shot that you want, feeling confident. Your heart starts beating. You realize this is a big moment. I got 5 kills. This could turn into 7, and I could be heading into a top 8 with a full team ready to go. And yeah, the moment got a little bit ahead of me. You know, I don't know what to say. I just gotta be honest. That wasn't my best moment. Game 10. Oh boy, we landed Mirage Voyage again, and I got a little too party crunk and died early. However, we did have a homie, and his name goes by Master Buds, who masterfully got the kills and respawned us. Big shout out to him. And things started to look good from there. Oh, I mean scary good. We got a couple of kills in a mid-fight skirmish as we were rotating, and that helped us. This little area that's like kind of geyser filled underneath Mirage Voyage is actually a decent place to start looting in ranked if you do want to stay a little bit out of the hot zone, but still go to an area that has pretty decent rotations towards loot and towards fights after you get a weapon. We end up cleaning up a couple of kills. I get a little revive. We start looking good on the stat sheet, and the RP starts increasing. We had to 5, 4. Soon we are in a top 3 situation, and it comes down to a top 3. Long story short, I ended up looking at the trailing player who was a solo from another squad. We finished him off, but it put me in a pretty bad position because my teammates were fighting the other full squad, and I didn't give them my full attention. I put my death totem out, and here's the interesting part. It actually died instantly, and unfortunately that threw off my game plan. I thought I would have a second life playing Revenant this entire time in ranked. I was also learning the character, and I think that somebody actually shot it immediately and killed the totem. So as I got aggressive, I lost my aggressive ability, and that is one of the big letdowns of Revenant right now. Sure, not the best totem placement, I'll give you that. Anyways, I try to finish the 3rd party and get shot by the full team, and unfortunately get down, fall down so my team cannot revive me, and we end up losing the game. What a heartbreak. Game 11. I'm pissed. I land Capital City, I get an RE45 and basically throw my tactical ability on a lifeline once and then die instantly. My Gibraltar tries to clutch up, but nah, it ain't it. That's frustration coming out. Game 12. All right. That was horrible. Really, I'm over the frustration. I'm gonna have a nice little landing here. I got myself out of the game. Now it's time to get myself back in it. Feeling like a break soon, but ready to improve. Ready to solidly continue improving. I'm feeling like a break. I feel like I've just gotten myself out of the rhythm again, and I've been in one playthrough session this entire time. Things have been up and down, and they're starting to go down, and I just feel like I can't catch a break. So I'm talking to myself saying, I think I may just need to reset here pretty soon, and we end up landing Skyhook, maybe a little bit more of a contested area than maybe the Dome or a Lava City, but not as bad as Capital City. Now, it's rare that you get a game so good after a bad game like that and frustration started to kick, but I think that pep talk helped. If you do find yourself slowing down in ranked, just go out in the room, go do something in real life, take a walk, like I said, get some coffee, get some more water, and literally just get yourself out of the game, get a different perspective, and come back in. It ended up helping us here in this one because we got into a crazy skirmish. I got a wingman with a level 3 extended mag, so I got those 8 bullets. I got an R99 as well. Remember the thing I was trying to get in game 1, and then we were able to put it to great use in a ridiculous skirmish that felt like it lasted forever on the top of a building towards the edge of Skyhook. I had a couple of really nice moments with the Revenant ult and of course caustic gas. That's a big thing in rank that is undervalued in the rank games you're going to play. First, Revenant. I think that his ult can be valuable, and I found some use in it in moments like that to really distract players within a third party or a 3-team fight. This could allow them to lose track of you and then start fighting the other team. You can heal and get back in the fray. However, the caustic gas is really what saved us here, allowing us to get some clutch reses in areas where people could not push, hold down the buildings, and really use it as more of an offensive Watson. You know, Watson can defend better than Caustic, but Caustic, you just can't mess with the gas man. I don't know. You just can't mess with the gas man. So we end up getting out of that fight and rotating into Drill Site, and this is where we find a couple of other strays, finish them off, and we start looking good for a potential win. I end up getting 3 kills there, and so now my RP is looking sweet. I mean, you know, it's like a New York steak right off the grill, you know what I'm saying? Looking good. We're heading into a top 3. This is right on course. We're about to get that win, you know, check that box off for the day after all this grinding, and then our boy starts pushing. I'm like, yo, slow down, slow down. Unfortunately, he would not slow down, and he would basically die and force us to go fight with him, and then we would get Krabered in the back. It was a little unfortunate. We ended up winning the skirmish, but we got third-partied, which is what I was trying to do. Okay, if you want to win ranked, let me be honest with you. Third party. I hate giving that advice because it hates to happen to you, but when you do it, it feels really good. I'm serious. After that second place and poor decision making in the final circle, I felt a little bit down. I'd gained some RP, sure, but I'd also gained an existential crisis, wondering whether I should be playing Apex Legends for a living or not. Game 13. I'm noticing that I'm always jump master, and it's starting to piss me off, so I decided to dive us straight into Mirage Voyage, and this works out way better. I land, I miss all my Havoc shots, I get killed instantly, and then our team dies completely. Game 14. I'm jump master again, yay! So I'm still pissed, and I take us into a heavy populated area saying I'm going to freaking kill or be killed, damn it. And I do a little bit of both. I get a kill, I also get down, but we have a good Gibraltar and a pretty decent fight near the train station that allows me to get revived and start moving towards the top 10. We end up making it out, surprise, and I'm feeling pretty decent about our team yet again, but it doesn't have the mojo. We end up running into a Wraith and another Watson in a team that was kind of pressuring us on our rotation, and they have a gold body shield. They catch me, down me, and that ends up being the game. Yeah, and sometimes I like to spectate that team afterwards and see how well they do, and apparently they had this whole hemlock thing where they were all shooting burst fire hemlocks and actually doing well with it, and it was clearly a thing because they all had the weapon. I don't know, it was whatever. Good luck. I'm not jealous, you're jealous. Game 15. So my negative performance trend and close losses seem to be getting to me mentally. Oh my god. Oh, I realize I'm a little salty from the from my process just now. I'm a little salty. However, one of the things that I've done, I think that is better, and one thing I would suggest for you all as well, is I've actually listened to the fact that I'm not feeling good. You know, sometimes we try to deny our feelings. We try to deny what's going on for us, and there's no problem with saying, I'm salty. If you're in an argument, there's no problem with saying, I'm a little irrationally mad right now, and I don't know why, and that's partly why I'm yelling. I have no reason to be yelling about the yogurt. I don't really care about the yogurt, but just being aware of that could help you to then make a change in a couple of minutes when you cool down. down, realizing there's nothing really wrong. So that's what I did at the start of this video, and it actually ended up helping. I ended up getting a couple of kills, we had some decent time with an R301, and I tried working with the Sentinel, snipers being a decent choice in ranked, especially on World's Edge. But unfortunately, we would succumb to third parties yet again. Game 16. Now this one pissed me off. We have this Bangalore who goes out to try and fight against another team by herself and separates from our party. Then the Lifeline goes to try to save her. When the Bangalore gets down after the Lifeline is in the middle of trying to fight the team that killed her, she quits the game. Then I go to help the Lifeline, and then she gets down, and then she quits the game. And so I am by myself in this freaking ranked game. However, I obviously die pretty soon. I try to make the most of it, but I get lost forgiveness. It's still very frustrating to get teammates like that after being so close to winning. Game 17. My descent into madness begins.
I'm not afraid to say it. I think Escape from Tarkov sucks.
I spend 4 minutes looting, pick up a hemlock because I think I'm that team that killed me in a few games earlier, and then miss every single shot and die. Game 18. I land in Capital City, work that dang L-Star, start showing them what to do with the weapon, and then die immediately after as my team gets wiped. Game 19. We land in Train Yard with no other team. This is pretty unusual. I start working with my wingman and R99, and we actually pick up a few kills. This team is looking promising, but I don't want to get it too ahead of myself. We've seen what happens when I do that. You mean utter regret and disappointment? Yeah, that. I'm in Silver 1, I'm almost at Gold, and I basically have 44 RP at this point, and we get into a crazy fight in the middle of the train tunnel. I'm hitting these wingman shots, and I'm ready to pop off. I'm thinking, let's go finish this and get that big W. And then I don't even know how I lose that trade. Game 20. Game 20 gets interesting because now I really feel like I'm at my last breath for the day. I don't know if I can keep playing, and I need to make sure that we either get this over with and have a great game, or we lose horribly and then I don't look at Apex for another day. We land at Sorting Factory, which is the best place to do something like that in my opinion. In ranked, just get it over with or survive and be like a top team, and basically we end up having a little bit of both. We get a nice early skirmish, find a kill, pick off one, I save my teammates with a wingman shot, grab another, and things start to look good. Then we get some Revenant showcase going on. I'm using my ultimate in a great way. It's actually with a purple shield, the best version of how to use it, because you get to max out the safety that you have when you transport back and lose all of your health, and I like that for sure. It's still a weak ultimate and needs to be a little tuned in my opinion, and it goes into rocks and other occlusion areas so often that I really have to be careful about my placement. I hope that gets fixed, but overall you can see that things were okay. My aim wasn't perfect, but I'm using a wingman, I'm using an R9, and it's giving me some wiggle room. When I do hit my shots, I'm lethal, and so that's allowing me to play around corners, buy some more time, help my teammates, and all that good stuff. Even though I miss a lot of shots to finish the caustic, I do end up setting him up by basically removing most of his health. My teammate cleans it. However, unfortunately, right after that, a third party shows up, and oh no, right when I thought things were going so well, and unfortunately, they can't get the dub. But that gives me an extra 100 RP, and guess what? Your boy gets the goal. And the funny thing is, I didn't get a win the entire day. All that means is sometimes you will get knocked down, but I think it's a good lesson to just get back up, just do your best, and if you keep persevering, that's really the most important trait. There are tons of people with a lot of talent that don't go anywhere in life because they give up or think it should be handed to them easily, but the hardworking people who can go out there every day and work on themselves and improve slowly but steadily will get their goals achieved. And what's funny is the very next day, the very first game in Gold, I got a win without even trying. More on that episode in the next one. Make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for that one coming out soon. As always, never give up, never stop gaming. Thanks for watching my path to Predator, and I'll see you all next time.